to Real Life Food Cooking Shows. I'm Suzanne Monroe, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how to cook whole grains. And the whole grain that I'm going to show you today, it's a really easy recipe for making quinoa. Most people have seen the word quinoa. It looks like it's pronounced quinoa. Quinoa is actually a seed, not truly a whole grain, but it's treated like a whole grain, and it's considered the whole grain with the highest amount of protein. So it's a great option. It's also wheat-free, so for people who can't tolerate wheat, it's a great grain to add into your diet. Now, before you do anything with a grain, the first thing you want to do is really rinse it. And the reason is because these grains sit in big barrels that come in through various outlets to our food sources, and they might get a little dust on them, some dirt on them, so we really want to make sure we rinse them. Use a fine mesh strainer for any grain you're using, like brown rice or barley, but especially for quinoa because, as you can see, it's very small. So we're just going to rinse this off. After we fully rinse the quinoa, then it is ready to be cooked. It can be a little bit messy because it is so small. Try to get all of the grains out of the strainer. And then we'll move over to our stove. Now what I've done is brought 2 cups of chicken broth to boil. Important thing to know about most grains is it's 2 cups liquid to 1 cup grain. So we have 1 cup quinoa and 2 cups of our chicken broth. You can use vegetable broth, you can just use water, but if you use broth, it imparts a really nice kind of flavor to the grain. So we've just brought 2 cups of chicken broth to boil, and I'm going to add that quinoa in there. Put a quick stir. And then what we want to do is bring it down to a low simmer, somewhere around 2. Put the pot cover back on, and you're going to let it simmer for about 15 minutes or so. Right around 12 to 15 minutes, then you'll want to remove it from the heat and let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then fluff it with a fork. And then we'll come back and I'll show you just how delicious this quinoa is.